morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason. Happy Thursday, baby. Yeah, one more day. Boy, I don't know. Any of you nervous about the weekend? Maybe? I mean, we're going to have a big military parade. I don't know. Part of me likes it. Part of me is like, that's kind of weird. That's more like, I don't know, you like North Korea does that stuff, and I don't know if it's a communist thing necessarily, but kind of dictator-esque in a little bit of a way. On top of all the rallies now, what is it? One of the Walmart heirs, the No Kings rally. On top of, are we going to see more looting and rioting across the country this weekend? Most people think so. I hope not. Are we going to see a lot more National Guard out in the street? I know Texas has taken some precautions. I like it that way, right? Where, hey, let the governors decide what to do more than the federal government deciding what needs to be done. But boy, a lot of people a little bit nervous, and probably rightfully so. We had a Boeing airplane go down in India today, one of the new Dreamliners. Don't know yet. People are speculating pilot error. It was immediately right after takeoff. So Boeing shares under pressure. Maybe we jinxed it. Yesterday we thought, hey, Boeing's going to be the big winner. Let's hope. I hope it's something where Boeing can be like, yeah, it wasn't us. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's hope that is the case. The deficit from the Treasury came out for the month of May, and it's just not good, right? $314 billion more dollars. We still don't know where we are because of the debt ceiling right now. Treasury Secretary Bassett is testifying right now for the budget for 2026, obviously in tax reform and trying to put the spin there. It looks like somewhere between $2.3 to $2.4 trillion is going to be the 2025 number, which, do some math, looks like we'll be somewhere between 2.5 and 3 trillion for 2026. But I guess the one good part about that budget number, it wasn't a revenue problem. Revenues are up a little bit from last year, which is good. But it's spending, and in particular, interest on the debt, now approaching $1.3 trillion of interest, and not a lot of hope that interest will be going down in the future. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. Obviously, the physical delivery of gold and silver, it is what we do. AllAmericanGold.com is the website. We had jobless claims today. Again, 248. So we're in the 240s now. I guess good news was it wasn't higher than 248. I guess the bad news was it wasn't lower, right? I mean, and then inside of it, though, is the people getting laid off. The amount of people seeking continuing claims shot up. And so that's something where I'm not surprised. Are we kind of entering into this slowdown I don't know. California led the way with that. They added 31,000. Massachusetts, New York, Washington, maybe, the others that contributed. But it was the continuing claims. Now listen, continuing claims have been right around 1.9 million, a little bit below, got over that. But now they shot up the highest levels going back to 2021, 1.95 million. That number gets scary when it gets over 2 million. But that was a pretty hefty jump. They were expecting it to be right at 1.9 where it had been. So a definite bump up in people saying, hey, I got laid off and I can't find a job. So we'll keep our eyes on it. But again, Jason, I think everybody right now is like, hey, what's going to happen over the next 72 hours, right? Is this going to be hopefully some very peaceful protest going on throughout the country on top of the big parade, the military parade that I could be wrong. I don't know that we've ever done one, at least in the years that I've been alive. So that all of that kind of occurring at the same time. Let's hope for. I'm tired of. I don't want to see mostly peaceful. How about just peaceful? Can we get that? Can we pull that off? Somehow I doubt it. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason here on this Thursday. Quick look in at the markets right now. The Dow's up 20. The S&P's up 18. The Nasdaq's up 50. The 10-year note lower, which is good. Now we got the big 30-year auction today, so we'll see. But 438. Remember, we had a good inflation number yesterday. Today we had producer prices also fairly tame, about 3% on the producer side of things. Crude oil, well, this one could go any way. That's the other thing, I didn't even talk about, is there going to be a strike on Iran? The United States has removed all non-essential personnel out of Iraq, out of Kuwait, and I forget the other, there's another one. And there's a lot of talk that Israel may be gearing up for a strike on Iran as the nuclear talks. Nothing came of it. We had some proposals; they got rejected. So that's another. Throw that on the list, right? There's one more thing to worry about. Gold. It's a place to be, man. Bumping up on $3,400 again. Right now, gold is up $27, $33.83. Silver higher, staying above 36. I really, every day silver's above 36 is a good day because it's literally, you just don't know. Silver could be $38 tomorrow. Could be $40 tomorrow. This is good strength from silver after breaking out above 35. Right now, just under 36 and a quarter. Platinum eyeing 1,300, up almost $20 right now. $1,275. I encourage you. I've been encouraging you. What are you doing here? Get diversified. Get more diversified. I mean, I know that it's hard. And you're like, but Joe, the stock market, it's 43,000. It's not, it's not bad. It's not yet. It is priced to perfection. And it's actually priced to perfection we can't achieve. We can't. It's not achievable. Then you're kidding yourself if you think it is. Don't get wiped out again. Don't get wiped out again. You know what happened at the financial? Don't let that be you. Hey, am I telling you to sell all your stocks? No. But what I'm telling you is you better load up on the alternatives. Right? And I'm talking gold and silver, right? That is where the markets are telling you to be. It's simple. You got an IRA? Call us. We can take part of that, put it into gold and silver. You don't have to worry about it. It's filling out of some paperwork, literally. You know, Jason, we say it all the time, right? If you don't want to take care of your money, they'll do it for you. I don't even want to think about all you guys out there. I don't know, maybe, you know, there's people out there, they've got 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand sitting at their house. Wait till you see. Look at the numbers. $300+ billion in a month. In a month. That's the amount of debt we're racking up. And we all know it's going to be worse. Because it has to be. Because what did we decide? We didn't decide. They decided we're going to try to grow out of it. I mean, if we can't grow out of it at 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 trillion dollars of debt, and we can't grow out of it, because that's where we are right now. That's where we are now. So what? An extra $300, $400, $500 billion is going to all of a sudden equate to huge economic growth. That's nonsense.
That's what's going to happen, though, right? Inflation.
Right, but that is what's going. I guarantee you, that's what's going to happen.
So, Joe, what I was reading as you're talking, you know, because Joe does most of the talking on the Gold Show. I depend on his numbers and stuff, but I'm always looking for good stuff to add to the conversation. And of course, then the Half Empty Cup of Joe. And I was looking at something that caught my eye yesterday on the Half Empty Cup of Joe is Executive Order 14220. It was signed on February 25th, addressing the threat to national security from imports of copper. Did you even hear about this one, Joe? It's one of those 162 that have been signed. These things just blindingly, just will go past us. Of course, the news isn't going to cover this. And essentially, it's in there, Joe. Listen to this. What's in there is like, well, there's a couple of suppliers worldwide, one in particular, they don't say who it is, that's really overproducing copper. And they're importing way too much copper, which for you and me, Joe, means cheaper copper. That's what we want, right? He said, well, we're going to kind of get a hold on that. We're going to, the Secretary of the Commerce is going to produce a report in 270 days of this executive order. That's 9 months. We're, I think, 4 months past this almost. And it's basically what I'm reading here is like, well, we can't have somebody producing too much cheap copper. We need to inflate this sucker. I mean, this is literally what this report is saying. And this last surge in silver I had mentioned, Joe, that copper started surging just briefly before silver started moving. And I started thinking, you know what, we maybe need to watch copper, because if copper starts to move, it's about a day or two, and then silver pushes. And so I have coinflation. I always look at how much $10 worth of copper pennies, how much copper is in there. Right now it's $29.20. Every time it gets to 3 cents per copper penny, things get really close to being more inflated. And this is an executive order saying, hey, we need higher copper prices. We can't have them bringing too much copper in. They're saying how strategic and important it is, but then they're saying, well, they're bringing too much of it in, Joe. So yeah, spending money, Joe, inflation. This is telling you that an important industrial metal like copper is being produced. There's too much of it. Can you imagine if we had too much gold and silver, the prices would drop and be more affordable, right, Joe? They're going to make it more expensive and probably produce it here.
They don't like the fact that cheap copper is coming from somewhere else. That's all, right? That's all. And of course, copper's now approaching $5. I mean, that's insane. It's insane what we're talking about. And guess what? It ain't stopping there. Jeff Gundlach today, said everybody stay away from the 30-year note. That's the one that the auction's today. Don't buy it. And he said the 30-year note will have to, now right on 30-year notes, a little over 5%. He goes, I'll revisit potentially buying 30, you got to remember, well, how's this guy? Well, he is called the Bond King, right? His company and what they do, they own the world bond market. They are the bond market. What he says matters. And he literally said today, it'll have to go well above 6% before I even consider buying a 30-year note, and went on to rail against debt, saying, look at another $316 billion. What are they thinking? What are they doing? Interest payments, right? $1.2 trillion. Probably going to be 1.3, by the way. Sorry. Outside of Social Security. Now, if you combine Medicare, Medicaid, that's still a little more. It's now the third biggest line item. It's really the second biggest line item. The problem is what Jeff Gundlach just said. It's not like the 30-year note goes to 6. And he actually said it has to be over 6. I don't know what, does that mean 7 or does that just mean 6.1? I don't know, right? He didn't say. That doesn't mean all the other notes go down. No, they're all going to be higher as well. Right? I mean, if the 30-year note's at 5 and the 10-year note's at 4.4, what is he saying? Right? Well, hey, interest rates got to go a lot higher everywhere. I mean, are we going to be in a situation where, I don't know if it's going to be next year. It could be. It could be. But it appears that by 2027, interest payments on the debt will be the single biggest payment on the government, overtaking Medicare, Medicaid, which they should overtake that in 2026, and then overtake Social Security in 2027. And Jeff Gundlach is just sitting there and just going, what in the world could these guys possibly be thinking? There's only one way this thing ends. And told everyone, don't buy it. Got to remember with bonds, to make money in bonds, you have to buy them at higher yields and have the yields come down. That's how you make money. The bond market, they made a ton of money when bonds went to zero, right? Remember the 10-year note was yielding like 0.5%? Man, they were making money hand over fist. Now, of course, what? Bonds are losers. And Jeff Gundlach today just said, by the way, before you even think about it, they got to go at least a full point higher, if not more.
Well, and you've been saying it, and you're not the only one, obviously, that 5% on the 10 years, that's the death knell, right? That's when everybody starts to panic. And so he's saying 6% on the 30-year, and I haven't looked at it as closely as you have. I mean, it seems like the 30-year could have a little more room to run than 6% before it's an emergency, right? And if a banker's saying that he doesn't want to touch it till 6, and you said what you kind of said is like, well, what number is okay? And what he's basically saying is that in the next 30 years, 6% will be the low number. That's what I'm hearing. So for 30 years, 6% is the low number, and it sounds like he probably wouldn't really want to buy until 7 or 8%, Joe.
Well,
if at all. I mean, who knows?
I don't think he wants to buy it all, because he kind of said, hey, it's kind of, we're kind of just kidding ourselves now. Do we really think the bond market's going to look like this in 30 years? And the answer probably is no. And then out of Japan today, really, man, these guys got to watch what they say, but maybe they don't. Saying that banknotes are not the future and are going to significantly decline amid rapid digitalization. As such, Japan must now consider steps to take to ensure the system is convenient, efficient, accessible universally while being safe and resilient. Of course, what are they talking about? You know it. Central bank digital currency may become, ready for this, a critical piece of the infrastructure of the future of Japan's payments and settlement systems. What have we been telling you lately? Paper notes are dying. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Thursday. Boy, tomorrow's shaping up to be a big day here. Right now, gold's up 34, 33.90. As I've told you, I don't know how many times in the last 2 weeks, 3,400. I think 3,400, close above that. We're going to start talking 4,000. $40 silver, and I hope it's not $50, $4,000 gold. Today's special. Final day. I can't do it anymore. $20 gold, 35 and a quarter, no volume discounts. 35 and a quarter, whether you buy 1, 10, 50 of them, 3,525. I mean, it's nothing. It's not 3% over. I mean, it's crazy insane. Silver. U.S. Silver Eagles. Cases, 21,250. Silver Eagles, $855. Tell you what, for those of you that maybe have a little more a stricter budget here, I got 30 rolls of quarters. 30 rolls of quarters I'll do at $265. That's like $37. Silver's 36 and a quarter. Do the math, right? I mean, it's right there. I mean, basically buying it at spot. So those of you that hey, maybe 855, even a big swing. You know, people are crying about it's expensive. It's not expensive. I mean, wake up. Pull your head out of your ass. I'm sorry. I don't like to use that language, but what the hell are you thinking? It's expensive. Look at the news. It's simple. It's easy. Now you got countries just flat out saying, hey, go, you know what, we need digital currency right now. Well, you know.
No, if you
nobody really uses paper anymore anyway.
If you have a few less dollars, then the quarters are your play, right, Joe? And I got some rolls of quarters here as well. So these are live in Arizona and Colorado. And $265? The numbers seem to be getting ridiculous. And if it sounds like that to you guys, it does to us. I mean, it was just 18 months ago we were talking to totally different prices, but that's the old world. That was how many times we say good old days. I was saying good old days back then, right, Joe? Where the price points of jumping in before it elevates quickly again are not lasting very long. The good old days is starting to be every few weeks or every few months, Joe, to have a chance to jump in.
I honestly, this is just where I sit on this. You know, we have our metals. As a matter of fact, my wife's been doing them, shipping out metals plans. The minimum there is $100, right? So it's for $300. I don't think. What is it? So it's July, August, September's the next metals plan. If you're at $300, which a lot of people are, you're not going to get a roll of. You won't be able to buy a roll of quarters. There's no way. It's not going to be there.
Joe and I need to contemplate whether to rise the minimum amount in, because it does. At some point, it doesn't make sense at $100 a month. You're just not getting very much metals, and it's at some point, we can't be messing around with a couple of coins for metals programs. We may have to up that minimum because it just doesn't make sense. You could come in with $100 a month. You can come in yourself with $300, and I've got you taken care of every day of the week. So does Joe. You want to bring in? We don't need to be in the metals programs with $300 anymore. You can literally come in 4 times a year on a date and time of your choosing. And I got $300 worth of silver sitting here. I got it sitting on my shelf next to my desk. So we may have to rise those the minimum, because Joe, I mean, how many silver eagles do you get for $300 now? Is that like 9, 8?
Yeah, it's not very many.
$40-something each. Just not very many silver eagles you can get for $300.
800-951-0592 and get in. Digital money is coming. We've talked about Texit. I don't know how much more you need to hear. You better learn, or you're going to be left behind. Period. If you haven't gotten in with us with Texit, which is the digital currency as we've been talking about, do it. I had a guy, he called, he actually had taken more of his IRA and put it into gold and silver the other day. And long time customer. And he said, Joe, he goes, I just got to tell you. He goes, remember I only did a 1-pack? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, and it was my birthday. And I thought, what the heck? Because he goes, I don't know. And he goes, I'm old, right? But I just did it because, you say it's a good thing. So I said, okay, I'll just do it. And then he called the other day to do some more on his IRA, put more money into his gold and silver IRA. And he said, listen, don't use my name. He goes, but I just want you to know. He goes, I've been in for a month. I've gotten over 120 coins at $995. He goes, it's just fun for me. But he goes, I can't believe it. He goes, gosh, at this thing, you keep saying $16 by February. He goes, I'm going to make a big lick on this thing if that happens. And that was the whole point, right? One of the things that I said, why would I ever tell you that you could trade some gold and silver in? And the answer has been simple the whole time. Because I firmly believe as this thing takes off, as you start taking some profits down, you're going to end up buying way more gold and silver than you ever could put in. Remember, you're buying mining shares. This is kind of the new thing. Now, it's so funny now. Everybody's starting to do this. Now that I'm kind of getting into it, there's like mining pools and all this cloud mining, they call it, all this other stuff. If you can get email and have an internet connection, have a smartphone, anybody can do it. And I think that, I don't think it. This is the future, guys. But this is going to be something. I think gold and silver, as I said, you already heard the numbers I'm throwing around. I think this is going to be like a Bitcoin thing, and you can make huge gains. That's why I'm telling you to get in while it's still early. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be right back after the break. 800-951-0592. Very, very last day here on 20s at 35 1/4. I don't know, maybe 35.95. And that's, if it doesn't break 3,400, probably, who knows. By the way, why not? Donald Trump at it again, calling Fed Chair Jay Powell a numbskull as he's urging for more rate cuts. Listen, Trump gets it. He knows what they're going to do with spending. He knows. I don't know. I don't know what to tell everybody. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm looking. The lines are empty, and I'm like, wow. I know it's summer, but incredible. Rolls of silver quarters, by the way. It's the deal of the day. $265 at 800-951-0592.
Joe, sometimes the rhetoric from Washington, D.C. doesn't just sound like a Flintstones cartoon. Well, can't you just see Fred Flintstone calling Barney Rubble a numbskull? That's where we're at. I think there's so many guys in Washington trying to push away responsibility from themselves and then offer up solutions that aren't going to work because there's just not a good path, is there?
And then how about this? You have J.D. Vance joining in, saying that Jay Powell is committed monetary malpractice by not cutting rates. Let me give you the 800-951-0592. What are you buying your gold and silver? Really simple. You're going to protect the wealth you've already made, period. Why do you join us in Texas? That's to try to create a bunch more wealth. And here's the thing, especially for retirement. By becoming a miner, you get coins every day. And doesn't end. We'll all be dead before the mine is empty. 130 plus years from now. Like Bitcoin. Bitcoin, there's less than 5 million Bitcoin left to be mined. It's going to be until 2140 before they get them all. I mean, that's just how long it's going to take.
I think Texas miners that we're signing up, you guys that are gold and silver customers and KHNC listeners, I think it's really, really designed for you guys because cryptos are, this one's been pretty stable, but it's in its infancy. It's new. There are going to be times it's going to go down. And what happens with these cryptos when they go down, the real mature investors of these things see huge buying opportunities. They understand, okay, it went down, and they're going to shake loose these panickers. Oh, it went from, let's say we're at $1.50, it went down to 90 cents. Oh, sell. Well, cryptos don't move like gold and silver, steady as a savings tool. It's an investment tool. And if it takes a dip here in the future, it's going to bounce right back. And sometimes these things bounce down 10, 20, 30%, and they bounce right back, and that can all happen within 2 weeks. So you guys will be able to buy this almost. Joe, so it's a pleasure to have people that are signing up to Texas saying, well, I don't really care what it does off the front end because I'm just going to sit and wait on it. That's the best play on this. Because you're getting coins put in every single day. It's what a comfortable feeling, Joe, that you're going to buy an asset. You're just going to sit and wait. I'm not going to sit and watch when it gets up and down. It has a little bit of a temper tantrum of going up or down in the price. And then as time goes on, it'll steadily go up. And you're going to be sitting in a great position because all those crypto hawks that are going to buy the dips, they're just going to push the value of your coins up. And just as Joe said, as we're always going to say, it's great. This is essentially a stock that pays dividends, and every day you get your coin deposit. It's great. It's, as your customer said, Joe, it is fun. It's very cheap fun compared to a lot of things you can do for a couple $1,000, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the minimum's $995. The maximum you can get in mining shares it's 9 shares. I'll give you 2 extra when you buy 9 shares, but at $995 times 9, that's $8,955. That's the most you're going to risk $8,955 is the most. $995 is the least. But here's the cool part. This thing goes, could you imagine, I don't know, 5 years from now, every day I'm making $100, $200, $300 a day because of the coins that I get every day. How nice going into retirement would that be? Right? And I just, once a month, I just sell I sell my coins. And guess what? The next month, I would have the same amount of coins, right? I mean, the price may fluctuate, but still, this is what we're talking about. And those of you that decide to get active and sign up lots of people, you can make a lot more than that. I mean, obviously. But
let me give an example of that real quick. Private Citizen Herb signed up as a 9-pack under me. Now, he's not super active in this, but and he's not as technologically savvy. He's more technologically savvy than most of the people, but not as much as you would like to be in the space. So he likes to learn about this stuff. So he's learning about it. Now, I sign a lot of people up, and there's these points things. We won't go deep into this, but it's you have to learn about it. But you have two sides. Well, my left side, which is he's on, it gets a lot of points for my signups. So last week he was able to do his first. He really learned about it. Learned about the crypto space. He got the woman to actually use crypto to pay for it, so he didn't have to struggle as much. And he got her as a 9-pack. Well, he had 9 on his left and 9 on his right. He wanted hash for his weekly commission in his 1200 hash, which because he signed in early. With the 2 points, the 200 hash for the sign up, and then 600 hash for the bonus. He's at 20 hash now, 2,000 hash on one sign up. So it can happen.
800-951-0592. Joe and Jason, Patriot Radio News Hour, here on this Thursday. Got an exciting, I guess, week coming up with the protest and the parade and National Guard troops and who knows what else, rioting and looting. Let's hope not. But it sure seems that's what they want to have happen, doesn't it? $20 gold pieces, very last and final, 35 1/4. Rolls of silver, quarters, almost at spot here at $265 at 800-951-0592. Take the time. Keep adding here. Gold right at $33.90 right now. Staring that 3,400 in the face. We're going to be, listen, we're just going to start talking 4,000 gold, $40 to $50 silver. Jump on this. Get more of that wealth protected. And then if you're looking at, hey, I want to take a shot. Maybe, is this really possible that I could maybe capture the early stages of Bitcoin? Maybe with Texit Coin. Here's the thing. What Jason was saying, it got a little complicated, but this is another reason why you want to join with us. You don't have to sign that many people up to get a lot more rewards, which means a lot more coins, because of how many of us, what I'll call the KHNC and Patriot family, we're kind of all in it together. And, of course, obviously some of you out there have it's been harder. Hey, I don't really, I don't do a lot of change my password and do a lot of stuff on my phone or the internet, but we're like a help desk, right? Well, we walk it through, we make sure problems get fixed for you, and keep everybody learning. Listen, this thing's coming like a freight train. Digital money is coming. There's a reason. Look at what for you, the guys, especially the Trumpers out there, you guys should be jumping at this. There's no one more. Look at his whole family's doing it. Now, I don't like how they're doing it, right, with their meme coins that have no proof of work. This is blockchain. You know why they love Bitcoin so much, the rich guys? Because they know Bitcoin can never be used as money. And what I mean by that, I'll be taking Bitcoin at some point here. By the way, I'll be taking Texas coin very soon. But it's not fast enough. And I used the grocery store. You're at the grocery store. Whether you're paying cash, you're hitting your debit card, your credit card, right? That thing's got to be quick. McDonald's drive-through window, it's got to be quick. Bitcoin isn't. Sometimes it takes 5 or 10 minutes for one transaction. It's real fine. It's fine when you're transferring tens of billions of dollars. Texas is fast. Just as fast as you paying with your debit card. It actually could be used that way. I'm not saying that it is, but it could be. Let's hope it does. God, if it does, holy smokes. How do you sign up? Call 800-951-0592. And yes, you can still trade gold or silver. You want to do a 9-pack, you get free 20s.